Hello, welcome to another episode of New Gameplay. Today I'm your host, Jeff Cork, joined today by Brian Shea.
Hello.
Hello, Alex Stadnick.
Hello, it's me, it's Stadnick.
Oh, okay, we'll get
Oh.
that again later. What are we looking at here, fellas?
Super Mario 3D All-Stars, the centerpiece, I would say, of the 35th anniversary collection of or the 35th anniversary celebration that Nintendo's doing for the Super Mario Brothers series. It gathers 3 of Mario's best 3D games, Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine from GameCube, and Super Mario Galaxy from Wii, into one convenient collection on Switch.
Interesting. So at a very minimum, it's 3 of its most consecutive Mario titles, we can say, right?
Correct.
That's true.
All right.
Yeah,
so I'm noticing some black bars here. What is going on?
So this is not kind of a traditional Nintendo celebration collection. Like we've seen Super Mario All-Stars, which this game borrows the namesake of, where they remade the first 4, technically, Super Mario Brothers games in SNES graphics, which was awesome. It was really cool. This one does not do that so much. This one is just kind of like higher resolution ports of these 3 games, which I will say that Mario Galaxy looks great in HD and in 2020. This one, it's a little bit rougher around the edges in terms of the visuals. As you can see right now, it's Super Mario 64 is very much a game that is nearly 2.5 decades old, but it still plays relatively well. I see Alex is going for the red coins star here.
Yes, sir.
Which, is probably the worst of the stars, so great for showing that off. It's like right up there with the collecting 100 coins in a course.
Yeah, someone has to do that.
So Mario 64, I think the gameplay is aged fairly well. The camera is kind of rough, but
it's so bad.
Well, try holding a camera and driving a cloud at the same time. It's very difficult.
That's true. I do commend Lakitu, whatever, however you pronounce it, for his amazing effort here. But I think other camera holding cloud people have perfected it in the years since.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would have, especially for like the camera of Mario 64, it would have been nice to have a little bit of smoothing over there. But if you've gone back and played this game at all, whether it was on the Wii or Wii U Virtual Console, or you even have an N64 still plugged in, the game still plays relatively well. So that still is intact, and it's nice to be able to use like whatever control scheme you want, whether it's in handheld mode or with the Joy-Cons or the Pro Controller. It still feels good to run around as Mario in this, and that was what they nailed in the very beginning of development. Was we wanted Mario to feel great, and lo and behold, it did, and that's why everybody else who was making a 3D platformer was chasing Mario at this time in the mid to late 90s, and very few succeeded in even paralleling him. So, but yeah, like I said, like other games have far surpassed what Mario 64 has done in the years since, and one of those games is Mario Galaxy, which we'll take a look at later. So Alex has 19 stars, which has given him the ability to take on the first Bowser battle, and which gave him the key for the basement of the castle. So where are we going, Alex?
Let's go to Sandy Sand World, the Nintendo term world for it. Yeah,
my favorite world, Sandy Sand World.
This definitely hits the nostalgia the right way. Just like when the Star Bunny came around after you beat a couple worlds, and just that process of replaying each of these it feels good. It's just like you were saying, Shay, there's just, even in this collection with Galaxy, there's just a ton of games now that do what this game is doing better, and that's caused some frustration for me.
Yeah, and a lot of those are Mario games too. Like I think that this is a great way for people who maybe have been introduced to the series relatively recently to go back. I mean, you've had plenty of opportunities to play Mario 64 before. It's been re-released millions of times, but it's interesting to see the kernel of the idea that I think was like perfected in Mario Odyssey, right? I think that's like the pinnacle of this kind of design of chasing the thing that's hidden in a level, like in Mario Odyssey. They're the moon fragments or whatever, not stars, but
same basic principle.
Yeah, but the camera was definitely, as you guys have said, a kind of an issue even at the time of this game's release. I remember being frustrated with the with the camera controls occasionally. You know, it was still an amazing experience. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite. I'd say maybe my top 20 games of all time, if I had to put it somewhere. So like, I love having like a modern and versatile way to play this game. You know, it was either like I dusted off my 3DS, or I guess my 3DS played it as well, but like to play the DS version of it, or I plugged in a Wii U or an N64, and that's how I could play this game. So it's nice to have a version that's both in HD and portable.
yes,
Which is nice. But yeah, other than that, I would have liked a little bit more in way of enhancements, and I think that's a common theme for this.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I can imagine like playing a Super Mario Odyssey style, like putting it through that lens, you know, visually. I think it would have been pretty neat. But
yeah, I mean, we saw like they aren't opposed to doing better looking 3D games. We saw Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask get 3DS versions with just better textures and. You know, I know that's probably substantially more work than they were hoping to do with this collection, but I mean, that would have been kind of the dream. Even if you kept the gameplay and the camera the same, like just a better looking Mario 64 would have, you know, done a lot for what this collection really brings to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the N64 too, just the textures are very of the Nintendo 64, we shall say.
Amen. Do you guys want to check out the next one?
Yeah, let's hop on over to Sunshine. I didn't realize there was as big of a leap in, you know, the release between this. So I was in elementary school when Mario 64 came out, and then I was in high school when Mario Sunshine came out. So it's just it's a pretty substantial leap forward in terms of technology, even though it was just one generation past what we got with the N64. But, you know, just looking at the textures of this, looking at the character models, they look a lot more modern. And this, I think, translated so much better visually, at least, than what Mario 64 did, which I think is a testament to the GameCube, because we also saw that with Wind Waker HD. Like, I think Wind Waker HD looks phenomenal on Wii U.
GameCube was a great system. That's actually my question here is, like, so much of the GameCube experience with first-party games was its a peculiar controller, which I'm a fan of, but I know a lot of people have like issues with it or whatever. How does this control on Switch? Do things transfer over pretty nicely?
So I will say they transfer fairly nicely. I mean, we've seen that with you know, a lot of people like using the GameCube controller for Smash Ultimate, and I think it works just as well on the Pro controller. So there is kind of that one-to-one that people are used to now. I will say that the shooting controls are a little wonky on this. It's weird to, you know, now that we live in an era where shooters are, you're so used to using one stick to aim and one stick to move. It doesn't translate super well when you have to kind of use the left stick for both. I don't know if you're having that same kind of frustration, Alex.
Yeah, there's been a lot of times in this where I feel like I really like, and not like in a bad, like I'm an upset gamer way, but like I feel like there's a lot of times in this where I make the jump, do exactly what I need to, and it just doesn't quite lock in. And I think that's just what this game was and what this time period was for these games. But I've found myself being actually frustrated with the game sometime, which is not something I'm used to with Mario games. Like usually it's, especially like Cork said, after Odyssey, like it just never really, controls have never been an issue. And I went back and played the first Super Mario All-Stars that they put on Switch Online, and you know, those games control so well, so it's actually kind of jarring playing something like this where it's like, ugh, like this doesn't feel good. And the perspectives are weird, especially when we were doing 64. It's like sometimes I think I'm making the jump exactly how I need to, but since the perspective is so old and you can't really tell, it's just like, oh, that causes a lot of headaches.
That's interesting, because like Mario Sunshine has those like abstract platforming challenges. Have you run into many of those, Alex and Shay, and were your frustrations like amplified in those?
I have not.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't gotten to that point yet. I honestly, I'm of the camp of Mario Sunshine's by far my least favorite of this collection. It's the only one that I actually never finished as, you know, on its original platform. So I'm looking forward to doing that now that it's available on a thing, but I just haven't had a chance to get super far into Sunshine just yet. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of echo a lot of Alex's sentiments. I think that, you know, I also I want to point out that while we seem like we're being kind of down on this collection, it is still an amazing collection of three of the best platformers of all time, even if Mario Sunshine is the most divisive of this collection. I want to point out that this is still an amazing group of games, even if they haven't particularly aged super well, and Nintendo didn't really put a ton of modernization into this.
You say didn't put a ton of. I'm detecting none. I'm detecting they didn't put any in. Is that fair?
They feel like ports, like pure and simple.
Yeah.
They up-resed the resolution, and they changed some of the icons, and now the C buttons on the 64 are on the right stick.
Yeah. I appreciate the fact that they have bundled them all together, but I wonder, like, putting that All-Stars name on it immediately makes me think there's some kind of enhancement in play, just because those expectations were set with, like you said earlier, Super Mario All-Stars. So it's interesting they did like a collection, but didn't really add anything. It seems kind of against course for Nintendo.
And I mean, it's really especially jarring. I know this is admittedly a very unfair comparison given the scope of the projects, but coming off of my review of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, this is just super jarring seeing like these remakes, which some of them are from that same time period, some of them are way after. Right. And it just it feels very bare bones when compared to what Activision and Vicarious Visions did there. And again, I acknowledge that's probably an unfair comparison given what each of those collections was trying to accomplish, but that's just kind of the perspective I was coming from. Like, wow, this is just a completely different approach to the same type of thing.
It would be different too if this was just some like middle tier games, you know what I mean? But like this is arguably some of the best, most important foundational platforming games of all time. So you think that it would be getting some kind of love, like if Tony Hawk games got that treatment. It's astounding that the Mario games did not.
And and obviously this is just speculation, but like, I mean, I wonder if they had grander plans for this before the world fell apart, like, because it just feels, like we said, it just feels like ports and just doesn't feel as smooth as I was hoping it was going to be.
Oh, again, also Mario was 35 now, and speaking from experience, your 35th birthday is garbage. You know what I mean? You're just like probably getting like a frozen slice of cake from the bakery for yourself. Like your friends have all moved away and everything. It's not like you're 10 and it's like the world is like open to possibility and everything. I think pretty much life has essentially run its course when you're 35. So I think this is a perfect representation of that. Hey, we should check out Mario Galaxy. All right. Here we are, babies.
Super Mario Galaxy, baby. I would say the best. I mean, it's obviously the most recent of the three games that are included in this, but I would say it's definitely the one that translated the best to this. Not only from it's the most recent one, so obviously it would translate better and look better, but it also, they did more modernization, I think, because they had to due to the motion controls. Alex, are you playing with Joy-Cons or a Pro Controller?
Pro Controller, baby.
Okay, so yeah, all you do for this is you press the R button, and then you can use the motion controls in the Pro Controller to point and get the hand up, so you can either shoot star bits or use the pull star, and it's very intuitive. So it works out, and it's nice. You don't have to hold a dumb Wii remote anymore to play this, and a nunchuck. And also, if you're doing handheld mode, use the touch screen, which is less than ideal. I definitely prefer it on TV because like you have to take your hand off the controller in order to touch where you want to shoot the star bits. Right. But it's still a workable solution if you want a portable version of Mario Galaxy, which that's the dream we all know.
Right. Just the first one though. The second one is garbage, and they were correct in not putting in there, right? Is that
no? Actually, it's probably more beloved even.
Oh, damn it! Well.
Honestly, I mean, for all the complaining we've done about like they didn't do enough modernization, they did a great job with Mario Galaxy, but man, was that a huge, like, just all too obvious exclusion. Mario Galaxy 2, possibly, prior to Odyssey, possibly the best 3D Mario game.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, you won't get mad every time you're walking down the game aisle for a whole lot longer, because this game's only going to be sold until when? March
31st, I believe.
Yeah, and then they're not selling this collection anymore, either physically or digitally, which is the other kind of controversy about this release.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, right? Where like you can't
very weird.
You can't buy it digitally. Even like I understand, like all right, it's a limited run physical, but Yeah, like, I don't understand that. Like,
Yeah.
I get that they maybe want to get some people to spend a little bit extra money now instead of waiting until, the world stabilizes. But I mean,
weird.
it's just it's a weird thing, and I'm of the mind of like, if you want this, maybe Nintendo will extend that or rethink that at least selling it digitally. But like, definitely, I don't know. I feel like if I didn't buy this, even though there are a lot of gripes and missed opportunities with it, I would regret not having this on my Switch, just because, like we've said over and over again, it's 3 of the best games of the franchise in one collection, and they're all very playable on your Switch. It's not like any of them are like, oh wow, this really sucks now. Mario 64 had some weird 24-year-old things that make it feel like a 24-year-old game, but it's still a game that I'm looking forward to playing all the way through at some point on my Switch, or like next time I'm allowed to get on a plane, I'll love booting up Mario 64. So I get the appeal. I would love to. If I didn't already have it on my Switch right now, I would be preloading it right now, because like I'm that excited to have these games in one collection, and obviously having Mario Galaxy without having to have the nunchucks is awesome. But just I think that we're coming at this from the standpoint of we're all 3 like major Mario fans, and we're just kind of disappointed that there wasn't more to this collection.
Yeah. And then you have like people that are wondering like, hey, where's New Super Mario Brothers or Mario 3D Land?
We have Mario 3D World coming.
3D World, rather,
next year.
Right.
But that's getting like, that's what I'm wondering if they're planning for Mario Galaxy 2. Are they going to do like here's an enhanced version with like visuals, like they're doing 3D World and Bowser's Fury, which they haven't really detailed what that is quite yet. But it's he's upset about something, and they're going to be putting out a new version of Mario 3D World with online co-op this time around, which is awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
And apparently a new story area. So that's my speculation: is are they going to do something similar with Mario Galaxy 2? And that would be awesome if they were like, all right, well, now you can play the original Mario Galaxy 2, but here's a whole new world or something that you can add. If they did that, I think that would make a lot of people really happy, and that forgiving of them leaving it off this collection.
Yeah.
Especially if they upgraded the visuals, like we've been complaining about this entire video.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been very cathartic, and I feel like this has been helpful for me psychologically. I appreciate you guys being here for this.
Oh, that's what this was all about. I didn't even think we were recording. I thought we were just talking to you and hearing your complaints.
Yeah. Excellent. Any final thoughts?
If you're a Mario fan, you're gonna enjoy it because it's that comfort food. It's with frustrating aspects to it, but Galaxy holds up the best, I think, and I'm shocked at how good the motion controls hold up and how easy it is instead of hooking up a sensor bar these days.
Yeah, and it's nice because Galaxy uses motion controls, obviously, like shooting the star bits and getting the pole stars, but you don't it's not super reliant on it. It's not like Skyward Sword where you have to use it for every single piece of basic gameplay.
Right.
So that makes it easy to translate. Also, you don't have to shake your controller like an idiot to spin anymore. Now it's the Y button.
Oh, like a cool guy. Nice.
Yeah, so now you can just push a button instead of having to waggle your controller like you did back in what we call the day.
The day, exactly. Very cool. Well, thanks for showing this off, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, and thanks for watching, everybody. When is this out?
It's out Friday.
Out Friday. $60 probably, right?
Yes, it is.
Son of a gun. Thanks, Nintendo. Bye!
Wow, that person was really good at playing that game. Those other people were really good at talking about it, too. If you find yourself saying either of these things, subscribe to Game Informer on YouTube for new episodes of New Gameplay Today every week, covering the hottest new and upcoming releases.